AskReddit by HarryComb11. People with ADHD, what did you think was normal? How did you find out it wasn't? I need music or a video playing in the background to complete mundane tasks always. But I also can't completely focus if there's something playing. However, it is really hard to get into that focus mode in complete silence and takes a lot of effort and willpower. It's kind of a paradoxical thing and hard to explain. I get you. I don't know if I have ADHD, but I totally get you. What I do is play music at a very low volume. If it's too loud I can't concentrate, but if I'm in absolute silence I can't either. A constant in a dialogue, I'm always having conversations with myself that never last more than a 10-15 minutes unless it's something repetitive like a song lyric or piece of a rhyming poem. Then I can't get that out of my head sometimes for days and it drives me insane. I will have conversations with other people in my head and just keep repeating the same sentence over and over and over. I had no idea other people could just get up and do things. Like it doesn't take them days or weeks to build up to making a phone call, or any other task! Lucky. It took me until the end of high school to realize that other people could just sit down and do homework. Just like that. They would sit, pull out the assignment, and start it. Blew my mind. Well, there's plenty not normal about me, but ADHD specific had to have been my inability to follow a list of things more than 2 items long before forgetting something. If you want me to take something downstairs and feed the dogs, I'm good to go. If you want me to take something downstairs, feed the dogs, and switch laundry loads, I will absolutely forget to do something. Lol. Deleted. Not feeling hunger if you're focused on something. When I was younger I used to think that's just how the human body worked. You eat at certain times because you were supposed to, and if you forget you simply don't eat until the next time you're supposed to. I was in my late teens when I found out that for most people there are multiple stages between not hungry and about to pass out. Hahaha, I was in the same boat. It was either I ate everything in the house or nothing the whole day. The thing that finally put 2 and 2 together for me was when a therapist suggested I could have sensory processing issues after talking about how the radio at work was going to make me have a breakdown. Apparently it isn't normal to become irrationally angry and shut down when there's an inconvenient noise around me that others can just ignore completely. Only now am I realizing that a lot of people can also just simply answer a question with a vague response and apparently convey everything they want to convey, whereas I need a full paragraph because every detail makes a difference. The room next to my office is a sensory room. They have been using a sound machine that makes a cricket noise all the time. If I don't play music on my computer I lose my mind. I would sit around needing to use a bathroom or grab something to eat and mentally talk or hype myself into doing it for long lengths of time, sometimes hours. I specifically remember one instance where it was over 3 hours of just mentally sitting there needing to use the restroom and I just couldn't make myself get up and go. Thought everyone did this. Same here. It even is that way with things that are supposed to be fun. I'm like, let's play this video game, and I try to give this command to my brain multiple times but I just can't execute it. I'm sitting there for hours doing nothing. I can't seem to get the thing I want to do started. It's so frustrating. For me, it's the need for background noise to concentrate. Growing up, I always had the TV on or music playing when I did homework. I thought it was normal, just my way of dialing in. It wasn't until college that I realized most of my friends studied in silence and were baffled by how I could focus with so much going on. I've since learned it's an ADHD trait to seek sensory stimulation to maintain focus. The quiet is too quiet for my brain, apparently. A buddy asked me to explain this and I said it's like trying to get work done at home with a dog that's barking constantly. Can't focus on my main task because of excess noise. But if I'd give part of my ADHD brain the dog something mindless to focus on, music, very simple puzzle games, something to fidget with, it's like tying your dog up in the yard. It's free to move to an extent where it stops disrupting you but you won't lose track of it. Starting multiple projects then getting bored, not finishing and moving on. Becoming so hyper-focused on a topic, you become obsessed until you move on and never go back to it. Screaming in your head to get up and do something while you just sit there and scroll on the phone. I have novels that are 90% finished, entire businesses like mobile apps that are also 90% finished, drawings and websites and more, also 90% finished. One day I'm going to finish them all, but first I have to start on a thing that is interesting. Is it normal to be hyper aware of your ADHDisms? Work specific. I'm never late. I get to work at least an hour before I need to be there. Normally more than an hour. Very organized. I have a to-do list every day. Do the thing. Check it off the list. I have a calendar with reminders set. I email myself other things to not forget. I complete tasks before they need to be completed. And so on and so on and so on. When I get home I'm so freaking tired. My brain is mush. The idea of making any sort of decision is paralyzing. Yes. That is me. I am hyper competent at work, always prepared, always on time, and generally a focused go-getter. Then I am a lump in my disaster of a house. I finally realized I hyper-focus on work. Constantly hearing every sound and conversation at the same level of intensity, and having to actively focus on the sounds relevant to you while still having the world screaming around you. Got a pair of quality noise cancelling headphones. Put them on. And started crying. I had never experienced quiet like that before. They're the kind that still allow close voices to go through, though AMD had conversations in public for the first time without feeling like throwing up. Told my boyfriend and my mum to try them on. They said they worked well but it wasn't much different. I asked if they could still hear the refrigerator buzzing or the kids in the other room and they said no, but they would just block that stuff out normally. What? Hell yeah, I hate that feeling every time I'm in any situation. I hear and feel everything. We used to have a clock that ticked out in the kitchen about 2 rooms away, and every night or walking around the house I would hear it ticking. Mine would have to be the constant movement. I literally can't sit still, and I mean I realize bad it is now. I've been dealing with it for so long. My best friends tells me that I burn calories trying to sit still. I thought everyone was like this until I was about 15 years old. I do not even realize I'm moving 99% of the time. Same, I never notice just how much I move when I think I'm idle until someone points it out. Every time I read threads like these I feel like I've got ADHD and should get that checked out, but I've procrastinated going to the doctor for that for like 10 years now. Same. I'm relating to almost all of this and am shocked that it's not normal. Getting anxious when waiting. Not the normal impatience you might feel when waiting in line, but physical discomfort and worrying when there's not an assured time for something to happen. Feeling like you need to escape. Telling stories with very specific details, but also unnecessary ones, and forking through side stories, using parentheses, while sometimes forgetting the main story itself. It was less interesting anyways. Apparently this sort of storytelling is not normal, although I am exaggerating on parentheses for demonstration purposes. I mean, I know I have ADHD, but I'm realizing I'm always using the parentheses when I'm telling a story. I need to insert random lore about people in my stories, and I don't understand how non-ADHD people do without all those details. Like, how do they give context? Apparently most people don't want to move their furniture around every few months. Hey, this is the first thing in the thread that I don't relate to. Going all day on nothing but coffee and nicotine because it's busy today is apparently not normal. Then the wall hits and food is the main focus. Apparently people without AD can just turn off their brains to go to sleep ? My husband told me this is what he does and my mind is still blown. I don't think my brain has ever turned off in my entire life. If I can narrow down my thoughts to like one topic without questions, then I can fall asleep. Edit. We have decided my brain has once turned off. It was when I hemorrhaged after childbirth and almost died, but my husband says that doesn't count because my body shut down my brain for survival and I didn't really have a say in it. I can fall asleep instantly, but I too can't turn my brain off. I have to channel my always on brain into something else, like instead of thinking about my problems or what I have to get done, I focus heavily on a story and world and character that I've created in my head. I try to move the story forward and that always puts me to sleep. The constant need to talk. There are times I have to tell myself to shut up because I get excited in conversations. For no reason. I jump from topic to topic without realizing it, and we go from talking about Final Fantasy to the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand due to the taxes being so high in the US right now. If you are wondering how they all connect, trust me, they do. If I am talking to people and playing a video game, I tend to run around aimlessly or jump from object to object to see if I can make it. Is it because income taxes were a wartime measure that never went away? I'm not sure what the story in the US is, but that's the story sort of with income tax in Canada. I'll make plans to do a mundane task like cleaning a room. Someone will come and try to help me with said task, and not only will I get irrationally angry, I will lose any and all motivation to do this. I used to think I was just an angry, lazy control freak. But actually it's because it's my space and I have a plan and you're ruining that plan by being helpful. But maybe that's still just me. Who knows? The major one is I used to think it was normal to start doing something and immediately get side quested, so that way you're scrubbing the kitchen ceiling so that you can finally put away the Christmas decoration. I had no idea people could see a task that needs doing and go, oh, it can wait till next time. Like? No. Short-term memory issues. I have a bottle of meds in my hand. Did I take them, or did I just think about taking them? Or, taking way too long to remember if I ate today or not. Putting laundry in basket in room. Oh, I should put these nightstand cups in the sink. Oh, might as well load the dishwasher. Oh shit, the kitchen counter is dirty, better wipe it up. Oh, I'm almost out of all-purpose spray, better go to the store. Oh, I have a prescription to pick up. Oh shit, is that a limited edition M&M flavor? Walking home eating M&M, MS, accomplished absolutely nothing. I thought most people could bounce around the house singing along to your favorite songs and then climb into bed and fall asleep. That or down an entire pot of coffee and pass out. Oh boy, don't get me started. I always thought that other people had a running commentary in their head at all times too. The best way to describe it is a room filled with several radios all on different stations, some just static. You can turn one down or off, but not all of them. It's sometimes so easy to just become overwhelmed by them or get distracted by one of them that you zone out from reality and get lost for a bit. Also, I thought everyone else struggled doing supposedly basic things like chores or things that aren't necessarily fun or enjoyable. Sometimes my body will not physically let me do things. A YouTuber, I can't remember her name, did a skit comparing it to putting your hand on the burner on a stove. You can physically put your hand on a hot burner, but something tells you not to. Past experience, survival instinct, whatever it is, it stops you from doing it. Now imagine that for other things, like showering, taxes, dishes, etc. There sometimes is just something preventing my body from completing things. It's a daily struggle. I'm an IQ nurse. I was at work pulling medications out of our code cart while we were in a code blue situation. The physician was giving verbal order right next to me and she had to repeat herself 3 times before I actually heard her. I was extremely embarrassed about it and concerned that I was losing my hearing. I saw a doctor and it wasn't a hearing issue, My screen was perfect. I have an auditory processing disorder, which is part of ADHD. I got treated. Adderall has done wonders for my quality of life. Not only can I have a conversation like a normal human and stay on task most of the time with minimal effort, but I've also lost 17 pounds, much needed weight loss postpartum. Women go untreated with ADHD. It's a condition that is linked to depression and anxiety in women. If you think you have the symptoms, get checked out.